Good evening. Actually, let's start again. It's been one of those days. It's evening here in the UK, and I'm just starting again, centering myself. Right, okay, all right. So hi, everyone. I'm glad you're here. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the globe. I am presenting to you a show that was recorded earlier today, and I thought it was going to be scheduled for the right time, so I'm a bit out of sync, half an hour later than I wanted to be, but it's okay. It goes with the title, Embracing Life and Curveballs and All. So the technical side of things was quite difficult today, but we're putting that aside, throwing it out the window. And I'm just glad that I'm here right now with you. So, as I was saying, I recorded today's show a bit earlier with my guest, Mark Daniels. And the theme is Embracing Life, Curveballs and All. We had such a beautiful conversation about being authentic. Oh, my new t-shirt, I'll talk about that in a moment. I talk about that in the video, so I'll share that with you. You'll see it there. But we talked about our journey together, the unconditional love that we have for each other. So it's a powerful video that I'm happy to share with you now. And the complications was it was scheduled to show today, but when I checked it out, it's scheduled for tomorrow. And guess what? I'm going to leave it like that. So those of you who may tune in tomorrow and see the show again, that's okay. It was meant to be. We're in flow. Complete collective conversations in flow. Maybe it's a message that needs to be seen again. So let me get to it. All right. And I have one guest viewing at the moment, so I welcome you. And yeah, really enjoy this conversation with my friend, colleague, and soul brother, Mark Daniels. Here we go. Yes, here we are. Here we are again. I'm welcoming my guests to Complete Collective Conversations in Flow. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are in the globe. And I'm here with my good friend, soul brother, Mark Daniels. Woo!
Thank you so much for having me on, Complete. You know, I so much respect and love for you, and yeah, really pleased to be here. So.
Thank you. So you know, when I chose the title of this conversation was Embracing Life, Curveballs and All. This is what we will talk about. Yeah. So what I'm going to do first of all is what I usually do is I usually bring us to center. Take that deep breath. Actually, you know, yes, I know. I throwing you on the spot. I'm going to ask you to do the breath centering to start us and to center us and bring us into this present moment. Okay. Perfect. All right.
So with our eyes closed, a deep breath in and out. And in again. And out all the way to your feet. And back in the room. And I'm here and present, 100%.
Do you know what? I was still holding my breath, so I kind of peek, so the viewers will be seeing me going like that. Oh my gosh! How long have we known each other? Let's see.
Oh! It'd be scary to work it out, but it's been a while.
Yeah,
it's been amazing.
Yeah,
and I think with all these relationships, it's the thing I love about our relationship and how long we've known each other. It's always been two-way. You know, it's been. you know, and that's, I think every relationship has to have that, has to be a two-way relationship, doesn't it? And it's we've bounced off each other for so long. It's been amazing. So
I was just thinking, so when we first met, it was on like this self-development journey.
Yeah.
And we were at I can't even remember what it was. Was it the Speakers Academy?
That's it, yeah, the event in London. Yeah.
In London, in Holborn. Yeah. And I was one of the coaches then. So yeah. And you and your daughter Katie, who's now,
well, funny enough, is the reason I was there was for Katie. That was although I'd always been into training and development, I hadn't really been that much into self-development, and that was Katie I was there for. But I think I got hooked.
We had a fantastic day, didn't we? And we haven't turned back. We haven't looked back since, have we?
Not at all. Yeah. Not at all. The amount of events and things we've done, and some together, some supporting each other. Yeah, it's just been amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
So I am going to ask you some questions, if you don't mind.
Okay. You know I don't mind, because authenticity is a wonderful thing, because you can just answer honestly. Yeah, exactly. You can answer honestly. I don't need to hide anything. So you ask away and I will answer the best I can.
Okay, so I think the second time that we actually met, I was hosting an event for you and some other coaches, and I can't remember exactly what it was called. I think it was Shine Your Light, and you shared a story about how busy you were with life. Now I want our audience to hear that about how, you know, because you're a big businessman with how many businesses and what happened. I'm not going to go anymore. I want you to share that so that people can see what I mean by embracing life and curveballs and all. And there's so much more has happened since then. So over to you, my love.
Okay, so back when we met, yes, business was my life. I was very much into business franchising. I think I'd probably 7 or 8 limited companies at the time when I met you, and I used to run all of them myself.
I think it was more than that. It was 12. It was 12.
It could have been. And you know, and this was from an upbringing from parents who worked really hard, and that's what I thought was expected of me in life, just to work as many hours as possible, earn as much money as possible, and build up an empire, for want of a better word, to help support my children, obviously, moving forward. And that was really what I thought life was all about. And yeah, and I was working 20-hour days, and for the other 4 hours I was sitting in bed making notes, and I was missing out on things that I shouldn't have missed out on. So I was certainly concentrating far more on work than I was home life. Yeah.
And then something happened to make you kind of realize, remember?
Yeah, and I think, well, the curveball came along, you know, and we all get one at some point in our life to kick us up the backside and push us back on track. And my curveball was, one of the companies I owned was a property development company, and we were working on a property. And while I was out, I was out on the land of this property, and I got bit by a horsefly on the back of my hand. 3 days later, I was paralyzed. I lost the use of everything from the waist down. We were in hospital, tests, all sorts of things, trying to work out what it was. And it turned out it was Lyme's disease. And it took them quite a while to find it. Apparently, it's quite hard to diagnose. It wasn't until, that was actually my wife who said to the doctor that I'd been bitten by a horsefly, and straight away, right, okay. And he done blood tests, tested for Lyme's disease, and it was a form of Lyme's disease. I actually ended up in a wheelchair. Now, the problem was when the doctor come through and told me about this, he said to me, you know, it's going to be probably 6 months before we get you walking again, and probably another 6 months after that to get you walking properly, you know, rehabilitation. And the first thought that went through my mind is, how am I going to go to work?
Mm.
How am I going to go to work? Not family, not, none of that. It was, how am I going to go to work? And the second instant thought that went through my mind is, why the hell are you thinking about work? And that was such a turning point. That was the kick I needed to sort of get that work-life balance back again and start, doing things for the right reason.
Mm. Mm. I remember when you shared that experience and the realization of the pain at that time, and that curveball that kind of really saved you, really.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, certainly saved my relationship with my family, because I was the dad that told my daughter I was at sports day when I wasn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was that, and looking back on it, it's just how ridiculous it was. And it was also that we could have a big house and we could have several cars sitting there. I mean, at one point I had 7 cars. How ridiculous is that? And looking back, how ridiculous. Well, who needs 7 cars? But I had 7 cars. I had 3-acre garden. I had a full-time gardener. Things like that. And I look back, and it's like, how much happier am I now than I was back then? Because I was doing all. I didn't have time to spend. I didn't spend any time in my garden. But I had 3 acres of really nice gardens. How ridiculous! And you just, something comes along, just gives you that kick to push you in the right direction. It's not always, and at the time you don't always see it as a positive, but actually it's probably the best thing that ever happened. Because put life back on track. I got more involved in what I wanted to be involved in. I so subsequently after that, I closed a couple of businesses down that weren't, they might have been something big in the future, but they would have taken a lot of work. And so I closed them down. I sold a couple off, and I put managers in the others. And yes, I don't earn as much from them, but I don't have to go there every day. And I've taken on other work, but it's work I want to be doing. I'm now in a situation where I can choose what I do rather than having to do it. It's a massive difference to my life, my family's life, and sort of where we're heading. So
it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to actually watch your journey. I know there's been some difficulties. I know that this pandemic has caused so much. We were seeing each other, I suppose, maybe, was it once a month? I would either come down to you with the other Mark, who's on next week. And we were doing so much together, and we've learnt so much together and progressed so much together. And we've learnt so much from you as well. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit more, about the things that we've done together. So you went to California, learnt some really great skills, and came back and shared them. And I want the audience to find out and know more about what we were doing, because we know in the future when things, they're not going to be normal like it was before, but we have planned to do retreats and to share these gifts with people. So I would like you to just say a little bit more about that.
Okay, well, let's just go back a bit to why I went to California. So one of the little life lessons I had was when I was 16 years old, my sister died in a car accident, and that was always in here. It's always in the back of my mind, to the point where I couldn't watch a program of a car accident in it. I couldn't watch a TV show in a hospital and things like that, because I always remember the vision I had in my head was always my sister laying in hospital. And it was really hard for me to move past that. It was I couldn't, if I tried to think about a holiday I had when I was younger, instantly it would remind me of my sister, and I'd straight back to this vision of her laying in hospital. And California, I spoke to somebody in California who showed me some amazing amazing things he could do just over Skype. And I just felt a calling to go out there and spend some time with this guy. And 4 days later, I flew to California and I went and lived with a guy for 2 or 3 weeks. And what he was able to do for me and what he was able to teach me in that time really helped me change that vision in my head. And by the time we finished, I was able to look back and see holidays we had as kids, you know, and things like that, without the negative picture coming in my head. And the way I explain to a lot of people is, when you've got a negative memory, it's very much in black and white, and it's a still photo. And when you can control that, suddenly you turn it into color, and you turn it into a movie, and you can control the movie, and it's so much nicer to think about that way. And that was what it enabled me to do. And I knew that this was something that I had to bring back and help other people with, which is what I've done. And being able to work with people on something that's very content free, we don't have conversations about it, being able to work with people who have tried everything else and it hasn't worked for them, and being able to use something that's I've never had it fail, and it's, you know, and doing memory work with people with PTSDs, things like that, it's just been amazing. And again, it's something I'm able to do because I want to do it, and the pleasure I get from doing that with people and helping people, and it's just been amazing. You know, I've never once charged somebody for doing it. I've traveled all over the country doing it with people, just because and again, you know, there was a time where I would have done it as a business and you know, set up another company, but we didn't. You know, it's just something I've chosen to do for myself and for the people I'm working with. On a one-to-one level. It's been amazing. It's been such a good journey. Be able to come on and pass that on and show you and things like it's just been, yeah, such. And I would never have done any of that if that little horsefly hadn't landed on my hand and bit me, you know. And like I say, these things, you see some things in life as a negative, but actually sometimes that had to happen, you know. That's my curveball, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was thinking that, you know, I use it within my modalities, you know, a lot, in order to help people to get through the pain or the trauma that they've experienced. And it just makes, you know, like when you see them go, oh my God, that your heart just goes, you know, that satisfaction.
You can see it just disappear, and it's just, yeah, the release in people and how they just suddenly relax, and it's amazing. So it's been an amazing journey doing that, and off the back of that I've learned so many other things, you know, and it's all been self-development and corporate world as well, corporate empowerment and things like that, but it's all been along the same sort of lines, where I'm working with people and I'm helping people, businesses, things like that. It's been such an amazing journey.
So before we move on to your personal adventures, all right, which I'm gonna because I always tell my audience that, you know, I'm very authentic about what we're doing. So we're actually recording this earlier on to be streamed later on. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm looking forward to is actually showing pictures of you when I do the live stream of you in the air, but I'm not going to go there yet.
Okay.
So, right. There was something else. So you just shared some really brilliant news with me. Yeah. So, but business wise,
yes.
Would you like to share that again?
Of course. So I am up there very recently. I've taken on a role within Firewalk UK. And we do lots of different sides to a business, but we're doing firewalks. We teach breath work. We do empowerment days. We do charity firewalks, a large part of our business, helping charities raise money. And I've taken on that position, and again, it's not because I want to be in more businesses, but because it's just something that's really in my heart. It's amazing seeing people walk. I don't know, have you done a firewalk yet, Karen? Or is it
No,
something?
you keep telling me. I've done the arrow. I
You've
did
done
the
the arrow
arrow.
break? Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Need to get you walking the coals. So firewalking it's you see people. We were just saying about the memory work. You see people get that release as they walk across the coals, and it's just amazing. So we do fire walking, glass walking, arrow breaking, all the empowerment stuff.
Glass walking as well.
Yeah, and it's amazing. So yes, there's so many different things we do. So if it's firewalk.co.uk, and you'll see all the different stuff we do. And it's such a privilege to be asked to go and support the guys over there and help. Well, I'm pretty much running and take on control of the business and help move that forward in the right direction. So that's an amazing thing to do. But the good thing about it, again, it's something I really want to do. I'm passionate about, so it's not something that's going to get in the way of family life and things like that. Which whenever I'm asked to go and do something like this now, it's the first thing I think of. Never used to be, and I can really see the errors of my ways back then. But now it's how's it going to affect my family life, and that's the first question that goes through my mind now. And if it fits in with my family life and it fits in with my values, then great. Let's do it. So,
talking about family life, your gorgeous wife, you just celebrated 19 years wedding anniversary. Yeah,
19 years, first 19 years of many. 19 years wedding anniversary yesterday, which is absolutely amazing. Been together 22, 23 years now, which is it's so amazing to be with somebody every day that actually can't wait to be with them again tomorrow, and it's it's really nice.
And she's also involved with the fire walking as well, isn't it?
She's a fire walk instructor, actually. So she trained with us. We trained 2 or 3 years ago now. And the fire has a bit of a calling. Once you've done it, it's you just want to do more of it. So it's a lot of people that get involved, they hang around because it's not just something you do once and walk away from. It's something that you tend to get heavily involved in very quickly. So it's really nice because every time somebody walks the coals, we build the community a bit bigger.
I've got to get there. I got to get there. So I can vouch for your wife because she's so resourceful. When we went away to Antigua together, I won't even go down that road. Hopefully, I can persuade her to come on.
Can be another interview because,
do an own interview. She'll be watching this going, no. So fire walking.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the circus acts and everything that you learned there and you did there, and then all the things that you do, like the skydiving or whatever. I just see everything else. You love your
midlife crisis. I think I just have so many different things we do, but we so one of the things with having like a soulmate who you're married to, who you do everything with, is that we just want the same things. So we do the fire walk and that together. We both done a try dive for scuba diving for I think it was my 25th birthday. I think a long while ago. Either way, whichever way. And we both were hooked, and we're both now doing we're both now dive masters, and we teach scuba diving on a Thursday evening, hence it's being recorded earlier in the day, so it's my fault, so I apologise. But so it's something we really enjoy doing together, and again, it's all about teaching. It's about passing on knowledge, which we really enjoy. So we do that. I've really enjoy the feeling of flying. Flying is such a passion, and it's not until you've done it that you sort of want more of it. And again, Tanya supports me in coming with us, and I fly paramotors, but I did recently have a bit of a crash, so I'm not flying at the moment. I had a bit of a leg injury I'm suffering at the moment from a very bad landing. But yeah, and it's just finding things that I really enjoy doing rather than working. It's just, you just get to that point where you just need to have some fun, and yeah, so that's important times for us to have a day when we go and do things. So yeah, we try and make as much family time as possible now, which is nice. So.
Yeah, and I know. So this is. So I don't want to talk about all your business, but so it's like what's going to say next? So I remember coming up and visiting you, and so you have your dogs, and then there was the big snake, but I didn't see the big snake.
My daughter is fascinated by reptiles, so she has Indian python, which is about 12 or 14 foot long, which you were a little bit scared of.
I was like, "Is the door closed?" When I was in the guest room, I was like, that was so funny. But then, think about it. With all the work that we've been doing and removing fears and everything, then I was able to hold the snake around my neck at the best you. So it was like, whoa, you know what I mean? It was, so removing your fears. God, I forgot about that. And when I remember sending out that video, all my family were like, she's crazy. What's up with that?
I think these things, and sometimes we're doing work with other people, and we don't realise how much that work is helping us at the same time, and how things like that, you might not even realise that that's something that you've got over until we were at the best you, and you're able to do it, and you sort of think, well, what's changed? And it may just be a conversation with somebody over time, maybe some of the work you've done with somebody could be, you know, you're not always sure what's changed to make that possible, but it's now possible, you know. And it's so I think one of the things I really enjoy about working with other people is not just helping them, but obviously how much that helps me as well. Helps me grow, and you know, and dictates my path on where I'm going with it as well. So you still get as much out of doing it as they do as well. So
usually what we're doing is, when what we're teaching is what we need to hear ourselves. So as we heal others and our environment. So that saying, you know, be the change you want to see in the world. And so and then we do that ripple effect.
So one of the events we do at Firewalk UK is the Firewalk intensive training, which is a 4-day, very intensive. I mean, we're 9 in the morning till 1 in the morning for 4 days solid, really intensive. And it's the people on the training get so much from it, but we get so much from it every time we run the course. You know, we are growing every time we do it, and it's amazing to see the changes in them. But it's also, you come away feeling like you're the one that's just done the course, which is, you know, and as being part of the team and helping run the course, to get that much out of it every time we do it is amazing. I think, yeah, like you're just saying, we're constantly working ourselves as well. So
I'm aware that you're going to have to prepare to go and do your scuba lesson.
Yeah, we're good.
What is next? What is next? Like, so with the so is there an event that people should look out for? What's happening?
Certainly, I really look forward to, like you say, this current COVID situation being over, if it's ever over, or, you know, normality, whatever that looks like, or whatever. Because we just, the ideas we had, things we wanted to do, just I say we as in you know, the collaboration between you, me, Mark too, and we've got ideas that we wanted to put in place, and this has really put a hold on lots of things. And so definitely an event to look forward to is the event that we want to do.
Mm.
For the time being, I'm concentrating very much on Firewalk UK, and the courses we're doing there are really very empowering, and I have such a passion for it. I enjoy doing it so much. I'm sending my staff from work on it. I'm just, just everyone that's been on it gets something amazing out of it. So if anyone wants to have a look, head over to firewalk.co.uk. The courses are on there, and it's any questions, just message me. But it's all on there. It's what you get from it is what you put in. It's that sort of course. If you play full out 100%, you'll get 100% out of it. So that's amazing. And we're spending a lot more time learning new things as well, because I've got more time now. I'm planning on a trip to America to meet a few more people who have got wonderful ideas and learn some new skills. And just enjoying family life as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I know. I'm looking forward to coming up for the weekend to enjoy with you.
Come and see us
in the hot tub with some champagne.
Yeah, why not? You are welcome any day. So when you connect with people, and you connect with so many people, and one of the things that really sort of touched yesterday, I mean, I put a post up just saying, happy anniversary to my wife, and we had like 150, 160 people sort of reply to it and say happy anniversary and that, and you sort of look through it, and they're all people that they've had a direct effect on that first 19 years, and it's it's amazing to see. It's just I'm just very humbled at how many people care, how many people I've helped and they've helped me. Our connection, it's amazing. So, and if anybody else wants to connect, please do. I love connecting with people. I love talking to people, and I love helping people where I can. So
my whole body is vibrating as you're talking, because we haven't really touched on even just an inkling of what you do to help people.
No, I know we need quite a few interviews for that. But you ask, if you've got anything you want to ask, you can ask away. And like I say, the good thing about being very authentic is I can answer anything, because I have nothing to hide. I have nothing. I'm happy to talk about anything. And if anybody's got any questions, if they want to talk about the work we've done in California, if they want to talk about the fire walking, glass walking, anything like that, you want to learn.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm thinking about the love that you show everyone. The love. Yeah, you do. When people are down and out and they haven't got food to eat, you would take them food. When people were sick, you flew them over to your home. You and Tanya flew them over to your home to nurse them, to give them a beautiful Christmas, and not to be on their own, not just them and their family. I want my, I can't even explain what you mean to me.
I think one of the important things I always feel is, I think there was a time where I look back and I sort of think, what was I doing? We were wasting money on expensive holidays, and we were, like say, buying cars and all of that sort of thing. And since then, how much happier am I when I'm able to do things like that? How much happier am I when, I'm able to help somebody in the street? I'm able to, the example you're giving, somebody who was very close to my heart, who, I knew was going to be spending Christmas alone. Wasn't able to spend it with their family because they didn't have a meeting place to go to spend with their family. So we flew them over so that they could spend Christmas together. It wasn't about spending Christmas with us. It was about them spending Christmas together. And I just like to think that was, if you can give back, that's so important. It's a good example of what people you know, what people can do to support each other, but there's, you know, all different levels of that. It doesn't mean, you know, I was lucky at the time to be in a situation to be able to do that, and I, you know, appreciate being in that situation. Even just a cup of tea for somebody on the street, you know, that's
Yeah.
has a massive effect on people's lives. So.
And during lockdown, when I'm watching your feed, you know, when you said people, if you're in need through this pandemic, what do you need? Tell me what you need. Is it,
Yeah.
I think, is it, do I need to go and get medicines? Do I need to get food? Do I just reach out? So this is, so I really want people to understand who you are.
I love helping people. I love helping people. I was a guy out in my truck at 1 o'clock in the morning when everybody was stuck in snowdrifts. I am, you know, things like that. I love helping people, and I help wherever I can. You know, I know there was people during the pandemic. I was lucky enough to be in a situation where I don't mean I wasn't affected. I was affected greatly. I mean, the COVID has probably, you know, it's cost me a lot of money, but we were able, as a family, we were safe. We had a roof over our heads. We had food in the cupboards, and there were people that didn't. And there were people that contacted me for help and reached out, and I'm really pleased they did. You know, and I was able to do something for them. And I think that's one of the things we've, as a nation, probably learned from this whole last 18 months. It's brought people so much closer together, and you know, and everybody helping each other is just what it's all about. So, and it's just part of growth, and just going back to something else you mentioned, like the circus stuff. I mean, it's one of the courses we do called Fire Dragon. It's all about, we use it as a self-development thing. It's about helping people become their true self. It's about bringing people out their shell, about playing 100% full out and things like that. And we use circus skills for it. So we use fire eating, fire breathing, juggling, poi, all sorts of stuff. And it's all about, it's not really about the circus side of it, although that's great fun. And one of the things that I've really taken to is juggling. I love juggling. And the reason I think I love juggling is because there's never an end to it. You can never say, yeah, I've done it. You know, there's always more to learn. So, and I like that. So that's just something that I do. It's really good exercise as well, actually. But I've really enjoyed doing that. But the point of it is more about using it for self-development to help people who maybe suffer a little bit of stage fright, maybe just need to need to just find a bit of direction. You know, lots of different reasons for doing it, but it's something that we started a couple of years ago, and it's just really took off. And actually, next Wednesday is we've got a 4-day event starting next Wednesday, which is all circus skills and just generally having great fun. So that's something else we've been doing for the last 2 years. So.
Brilliant. Wow. Well, there's so much more we can share. What I want to do is I want to be able to do a live show when we're actually doing the firewalk. Maybe me doing my first one.
Your first firewalk will be amazing. I love seeing people do a firewalk because it's everyone does it for a different reason. Everybody gets something different out of it, and it changes lives. It changes people's lives. You know, just has such an effect. A lot of people sort of think, you know, it's just I think it's down to people who use firewalking possibly for the wrong reason. Or they don't do it for a reason, I should say. So some of the charity firewalks where, you know, people turn up, do a firewalk and go home, they don't really get the benefit possibly that they could have if they're not doing it right. And that's not what it's all about at all. You know, it's not about walking on hot coals. And there's so much you can learn from walking 5 or 6 steps across hot coals. So much you can learn about yourself, about your future, about your path, everything. So yeah, I promise you we will do a firewalk at some point this year. and I promise you, I'm going to send a car to pick you up,
Okay.
bring you to wherever I am, and you are going to walk the cold because we will have no excuses. All right.
Okay. You heard it, everyone. You heard it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
We'll film
it.
the whole thing.
Do you imagine they will be like, yeah, come on, go.
Do it.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking at the time. Usually I'm on here about an hour and a half, but I know we've got so much more to do another time. And what I want to do, because I'm seeing that the signal is fading on when I'm talking to you, you're coming in and out, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that this does record well, so they can hear. I can hear your voice very well, but sometimes your picture is freezing.
Yes.
So, love you.
Isn't it terrible that we can't hug?
I know.
You know, it's one of the things I pride myself on, is being one of the best huggers on the planet.
Oh, I am.
And you are awesome at hugging as well. And a hug between you and me
yeah.
It's an amazing feeling, and we haven't been able to do that for so long, and it's terrible that it's been like 18 months, isn't it?
I think it's been longer than that. And
possibly years. And it's you can talk to people as often as you like on Skype.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Being in a room with them is just not, it's not the same as being in a room with them. So
I know.
Soon.
Yeah. Because when we hold each other, so people who hear this and see this, who have experienced our hugs, will know that in that moment you are just so present. Time just stands still, and then nothing else matters, because we're just heart to heart, energy to energy, light. We're just one in that moment. It's beautiful. Yeah.
So important. One of the first things I get people to do, so if I am coaching somebody, one of the things somebody within their family, whoever is closest to them, one of the things is go and hug them to a point where they want to cry. And that hug where they know, because we all do it. We'll come off the phone, love you, but and it sort of becomes meaningless because of the way we say it. Although we might mean it from the bottom of our hearts. It's this rush around world we live in, where it's just like, love you, but and actually being able to give somebody that hug and make them feel 100% loved, 100% present, 100% wanted, and it's actually takes some thinking about for most people, because loads of people will give somebody a quick hug, but actually give them a hug and take a breath with them and enjoy the moment. And that's a challenge I set people, because a lot of people are,
I know,
only within families, like brothers and things like that, sons and fathers and things. Actually, just having a hug is just like, oh no, we don't hug. Well, I'm sorry, you do on my watch.
Yeah.
We hug. And one of the things we do on the Firewalk Intensive training we do, there's a whole session on teaching people how to hug.
Yeah.
Because it's so important. It's so important.
Yeah.
So I long for a complete hug.
It's so funny, because there's a client recently, they have quite a few siblings, and they're all girls, and they were having a kind of complicated, challenging discussions, after parents have passed on and sorting out the estates and everything. So when I suggested that, give that particular sister a hug, she's like, oh no, she wouldn't accept that. So then I eased her into it and said, well, okay, if you can't hug her, then just rest your hand on her shoulder. Just rest your hand on her back, or hold her hand. And even that was challenging for them. So I was just thinking that, if you can't hug, start with that little hold, when someone touches you, just that personal touch. Yeah. and then go into that hugging.
So many things you can do, and it's not even just down to a phone call. You know, don't wait until you need something to phone somebody. Just when was the last time? Sometimes what I'll do, if I've got a spare, you know, if I'm sitting on my laptop and I'll go through my messages, and I'll scroll right down. Just got, who haven't I spoken to for a while? And somebody, so a prime example, somebody that I've messaged several times and I was concerned about, Jermaine Harris. You know, Jermaine Harris, we love Jermaine. He's amazing. We've both worked with him. We've both done events with him. Absolutely amazing guy. And I messaged him this time a year ago, and I didn't get a reply. And I'm like, you know, and Jermaine's a busy man. Sometimes he might take him 24 hours to reply, but normally he replies. So I didn't get a reply. And a couple of months later, still hadn't heard anything from him. Sent him another message. Tried phoning him, nothing. And eventually I got a message back from him saying, thank you so much for your messages. And he's had COVID. He's had long COVID and been really ill with it. And pleased to say he's on the mend. But I wouldn't have known if I hadn't, you know, gone back through and just going back through your messages and just, you know, who haven't I spoken to for a while? Who might need reaching out to? Who might need, you know, just that message saying, I'm here if you need anything. Not the amount of times people phone up and it's like you sort of feel like only phone me when they want something. You know what I mean? That sort of feeling, and just being able to reach out to people and just sort of say hi. You know, I don't want anything. I'm just phoning, just say hello. You know, and we don't do it often enough. Again, because we're all rushing around, we're all busy all the time, and that sort of thing. And just, you know, just a little, you know, a personal message, a personal phone call. Not a post on Facebook, you know, just actually going out of your way. And it doesn't take long to do, but things like that just send that signal of love, thought, and, you know, it's just really, really important to me to be able to do it. So, but just starting off with things like that and, you know, being able to show emotions, you know, it's certainly between men. I know a lot of your events are women only and things like that, and I think females are probably slightly better at showing emotions, although in different ways. Men just tend to, you know, put that barrier up. Trying to get two men to have a hug is really hard, but actually they probably get more from it. So it's something that's really good to practice.
I love when I see, so some of the events I've done in Ireland and elsewhere, that's where we were doing with and the men are actually holding each other and hugging and doing the eye gazing, and they cry louder than the women.
Because it's a build up of emotions, you know. And it's massive release. Lovely to watch. Really good to watch. So yeah, I long for those times. I long for those events again. And, you know, as soon as we can, we'll be doing some more events back down in London. We'll be doing, you know, going around and promoting the other work we're doing. And I really look forward to it. So.
I know. I feel like I could, you know, like you just want to step through the screen and say, all right. Okay. Well, on that note, I'm gonna say I love you, and next time, not leave you. Love you, and next time, and soon.
Next time.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody on here.
Yeah.
And like I say, any questions, anything like that, anybody wants to connect, please do.
How else can they connect with you apart from the fire walking?
So I am Facebook. Mark Daniels on Facebook. I'm probably wearing some sort of silly hat, as I do in a lot of my photos. I am a hat person.
And boots. Shoes.
Yeah, shoes. I have a bit of a passion for shoes. Crazy shoes. So if anybody's seen me at an event, they'll probably remember whatever shoes I was wearing more than how I look. So yeah, some crazy shoes. And so connect with me on Facebook. Just drop me a message. one of the things we didn't even touch on was Success 4, which is Success
Oh my
4.
gosh, we can't go 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Very quickly. Part of my journey was recognizing that there was just not a safe space for self-development. There wasn't, I wanted to create somewhere where people could go where they weren't going to get bombarded with adverts. They weren't going to get bombarded with, sort of putting your credit card details for this, that, and everything else. So I created a website where there is no advertising. There's no pushy sales or anything like that. We don't ask your email address. We don't do anything. It is a safe space to go and learn about self-development and just to read articles and listen to amazing podcasts by amazing ladies, because you're all over it as well. And it's something that we created 5 years ago now. So there's so much content on it. There's loads of content, loads of articles by loads of people. It's not something I've been heavily involved in recently, because during the pandemic we've been we haven't been keeping that up to date, just because I've been concentrating on other things, but the content is still on there. So, and obviously through the email of that site as well. So success4 as in the number 4.com. You can go on there, email me via that. And just take a bit of time while you're on there to have a look around. So
yeah. I will say to you that I've used the site not just to share my podcasts, but when I know with all the other coaches, with like Debbie Singh, bereavement, so many different people have. That site has saved a lot of lives. I'm just going to let you know that. Saved a lot of lives.
People who have contributed to it, who have so much value to offer, and we've shared lots of things from other people. And it's I know the effect it's had, and some of the emails you've had with the podcast you've done and things like that, and that makes it worthwhile. It's all the work we put into that. It's all worthwhile. Just if I know several people have benefited from it, but I know we know somebody that really benefited from it, and that makes it all worthwhile. Everything we put into that. So, and I would like to do more with it, but it's it is a time thing that just creating content is quite time consuming nowadays. So that's there as well. So there's so much more. I need, like you say, there's so much more. So many things we do, and so I say,
oh my God, we've ended the show, and I was just thought about that. Oh my God,
another 10 things, but it's a good demonstration of things you can do if you're in the right mindset, because there's so many things we do, and it's not about time, it's not about money, it's just getting out there and doing them, and the benefits are amazing. So
from our hearts, right? I'm saying smart people, so it's a SM with a capital H.
Smart,
smart people, giving, so all right, I will let you go now. Okay.
Thank you so much. So nice to talk to you again. And would love to. I'm excited to see Mark 2 come on as well, because he's going to be coming on soon, isn't he? And it's somebody else who you meet people and you just have so much love for them, and you don't talk to them often enough because of everything that's been going on. So he's somebody else who we both connect with. So do amazing. I know you've done lots more work with him than I have, but it's that connection that's important. So
well, he'll be on next week, people, and so I want to say thank you again for being here. I'm going to say, don't just go yet. I would like you to stay in the green room if you can. All right. The virtual green room.
A little posh.
Isn't it? So right, so I'm just going to remind everybody, so this is being streamed live on my Facebook, Pono Quest Facebook, and also we have the Pono Quest tribe, and where there's also self-development available to you. And let me just give you here we go, let it scroll across the screen. And what I will say to everyone, remember, the most important thing is to show up, be authentic, to be yourself, get to learn more about yourself, And what I say, reason why this t-shirt is saying authenticity is my current, is when we're authentic, we allow other people to be authentic. Yeah. And when we are authentic, it's easy. It's easy, isn't it, Mark? It's easy.
So much easier.
Yeah. We don't have that facade or whatever. So I'm encouraging everyone to know who you are, warts and all, and just we're sending you unconditional love and a happy ripple. All right. So thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Oh. Well, you can tell I had a lot of fun with Mark, and I do miss him. And I'm looking forward to when we're all joining together. And I'm saying hi to you, Mark, too. Looking forward to having the conversation with you next week. So thank you again. I apologize for those of you who thought we were actually live in that actual conversation. I know that Mark, he's actually teaching scuba diving at the moment, so that's why we had to record it earlier on today. Also, I was saying at the beginning of this stream that there was technical difficulties, and so it was also scheduled to be shown tomorrow, and I'm going to leave it that way. It's such a great conversation about embracing life, curveballs, doing what you love, being authentic. So yeah, I just say thank you for being here. Thank you for being in this space. And remember, if you know me, I will be approaching you to come on and have a conversation with me in Complete Collectives, Conversations in Flow. It's about talking about life, talking about how we manage, show up, navigate, all of those things. Everyone has a story to tell. Everyone has an expression to share. And this is what this is all about. Yeah, this is what it's all about. To share your expressions, to have a voice, to everybody is valuable. You know, everyone is a gift to this world. And every day's a school day, remember? Every day's a school day. I learned some technical things around StreamYard again today. So thank you very much again. And I am sending you a happy ripple, love, light, and contrast. And contrast is the opportunity to expand your perspective, to learn new things, to enhance yourself. Lots of love. So yeah, let's just take a moment. Take a moment. Wishing you all a beautiful weekend. Remember to take a pause and breathe, to tune in to yourself, to show yourself some love and compassion. And remember, it all starts with us. It all starts with us. Be the change you want to be in this world. And you would have heard in this conversation, depending where you started from, is that when we heal others and we heal our environment. And I can testify to that. Namaste.